attribute your big breakthrough?
Yeah, it was a breakthrough race, best marathon of my career. I would say, I told myself if I put myself in it and was able to race all the way to the line, it would probably be a special day. And there was a lot of moments where I didn't know if that was going to happen because the race gets hard early here. Noon hills are brutal, and then even after that, you got some big downs and some gentle ups to check your legs. But we went out fast and I hung on. If you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough.
You and fellow Patrick were, you were near the front a lot.
Yep.
And after halfway,
I was leading at halfway and at 14 miles, and then some moves started to get made on the big down and then the Newton Hills. So
is it that your momentum just carried you to the front, or that was keep the pace going?
It was a little bit of two things. It was like we were running really, really fast for the first 10 miles.
Yeah.
And then there was like this noticeable slowdown, and so I just naturally drifted to the front, and then it's the loudest part of the course is probably mile 12 to 14. It's just screaming through Wellesley and stuff. So I kind of just was like, let's just enjoy this. And I remember watching Jared Ward, someone who I used to train with, do the same thing when he was 8th place here a few years back, and he just touched the lead at that point. And I think it's just makes you feel alive. So yeah.
Okay. And then when then you got dropped. Release back.
Yeah.
When did you move into 6th?
Yeah, so I think I was in 10th at Cleveland Circle, 10th or 9th, somewhere around there, with Clayton, Tabello, and Pat Tiernan all in front of me, and I think it was the other Mateco. So I was in 10th with 4 guys that were clearly I could pass, all in eyesight. And I passed one at 24 miles, one at 25, and then Tabello and Clayton, we were running in a line right on Hereford. I took the lead, left on Boylston, and then me and Clayton kind of exchanged leads a couple times. I looked over at him, I was like, let's do this, this is fun. Knowing that we've done that probably a million times in our career. We were college teammates, and we've been following and racing each other for years. So, last year he had an amazing year, so it meant a lot to me to be able to mix it up with a guy like that. I mean, he was 9th at the Olympics.
Yeah. So before Paris, you joined him for a couple of weeks?
Yep.
Why aren't you a permanent member of that group?
Flagstaff's my home now. My 2 kids were born in Flagstaff. We have a house in Flagstaff. I believe it's the best place to train in the world. And I feel like, from personal growth standpoint, I stood to gain more from figuring it out in Flagstaff than to go back to where I went to college and rejoin my college coach. I love Coach Eystone. I think he's an amazing coach, and clearly he can coach the hell out of the marathon. But yeah, it's just more of a thing where personal growth thing.
Yeah. Do you do better with more time between hard sessions than on the 6-day?
Yeah, a 6-day cycle's tough, but it's also just I don't know. I just feel like I knew Coach Eystone's training, so I'm more of a curious runner and want to try something new. And so I joined John Green after the Olympics, and he's been guiding me through since then. So just over 6 months of working together, and this build was the best build of my career. I knew that coming in, and yeah, it was special.
And obviously the shoes. What? Not those, but
the Fast R3.
When did you start training in them?
This block, beginning of this build.
Which was so 4 months ago?
No, probably mid-February.
Okay.
So 2 months ago, and I probably only did 8 sessions in them total, maybe 7 even, just because I wanted to A, save them, and B, I wasn't allowed to be photographed in them or videoed. And if you live in Flagstaff and you're in the content game, you have people at workouts filming or videoing or pictures of all the time. So I had to be careful of when I wore them, because we were really protecting them for release here, so that we could have a grand, reveal like this. And I think that, between myself, Pat Tiernan, Annie Frisbee, I think it was a good day for Puma.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Thanks.
Do you think laying off a bit, mile 15 to 20, helped? Was that something like kind of planned based on how you felt? Because you were able to get a lot of people in the last few miles.
Yeah, no, I think I just was trying to survive still. Like, I talked to Scott Fauble, who's one of my running mentors, about how to run this race, and one of his biggest pieces of advice was save something so you can go after heartbreak. And I thought I saved something, and then I got over heartbreak and my legs were dead, and I was like, well, I didn't really save anything. But here we are, running 1 mile at a time, and I just kept finding like one more wind where it was like I could push for a few minutes and then I'd have to back off. It was really like touch and go with how my body felt the whole last 10K. So I just kind of was pushing, relaxing, and keeping those guys in eye shot. And then once we got to a mile to go, I had 3 guys right in front of me, and it was like, well, this is money, this is pride, this is everything. So it's just letting the competitor come out in the last mile. So,
and then you ran, I believe, about spot on a minute PB.
Yep, 59 seconds if you want to be exact.
So second fastest Canadian of all time, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you have any desire to try to go get the Canadian record?
Absolutely, yeah. For the first time in my life, that feels like an attainable goal. Although Cam Levins isn't done, so who knows what he'll do. I don't know what his next marathon is, but for now, I'm focused on improving, and I feel like 207 at Boston is definitely flirting with like a 205, 206 on a flat, fast course, especially today. Like it was perfect conditions as far as temperature goes, but we still had to deal with headwinds, and there's definitely time to be had, and that course beats you up. So I think, Valencia Marathon Project, Fukuoka, races that are fast and flat, certainly there's time to be had. And I'm 28 years old. I plan on getting better.
And then I know you've mentioned it, but do you plan to come back next year if they'll have you?
Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of this? And, tasting 6th place, tasting the lead pack in Boston is like, it's intoxicating. So hopefully I can feel that again.
And then what's the summer and fall plans look like for you? Getting ready for fall marathon?
I'm actually doing another spring marathon. I'm doing Ottawa in 5 weeks. So first I got to recover from this, and then I haven't really given myself the chance to think about the fall, because a lot of those decisions are actually made this weekend. Like, my agent will hopefully have a discussion with me about what makes the most sense. There's world champs this fall. There's, obviously we could choose between like a Chicago or a New York, or a fast course like a Valencia or Marathon Project or Fukuoka. We'll see what makes the most sense. Got to recover from the spring and look at it from a business standpoint as well. Yeah.
Sounds good.